Hey guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we're going to see how to monitor the index performance or whether an index has been used for a particular SQL or not, okay, in Oracle database. So why we need to monitor the index usage? So imagine that in a standalone Oracle database, it's not an Exadata, but it's a non-Exadata or non-engineered system. So in an Exadata, creating index is not, creating index is useless, okay, because Oracle Exadata is designed for full table scans, okay. But if it is an OLTP systems, right, or OLAP systems, so both these systems require indexes. Okay, OLTP systems may require indexes, not that we can say it is not significantly required for OLTP, but for OLAP systems indexes are necessary, because OLAP systems often read more than write, okay, high reads and low writes. There may be batch statements that execute, but analytical systems are just for analysis purpose, right? So obviously a lot of reporting happens. So but both systems require index. In OLTP you can imagine, right? So if lot of insert, update, deletes are there, then having an index may not be efficient, okay, unless until if there is any where clause in the update, something like that, okay. So why we need to monitor the index usage, right? So imagine that there are hundreds of indexes, okay, in a database. So just because after once you tune any SQL statements by creating the index, right, the job is not over after that, okay. So you need to monitor those indexes, okay, because when the data grows in the table, the index also grows, okay, the height of the index grows, okay. So here height means the B tree structure, okay. So I hope you already have some idea on B tree structure. There will be root node, there will be branch nodes, there will be leaf nodes, okay. So Oracle has to traverse through each and every nodes when it needs to find the block containing the index entries, which contains the row ID and the address, right, of the table blocks, where exactly the table blocks are residing, right. So here the height means the number of blocks that are extended, okay. So here if you see, this is one root block is one level, right, and like that it increase, okay. So then the next two blocks will be there, so it will be 2, then it will become 3. Then if additional hierarchy, the sub levels or the sub categories which extend, right. So here Oracle cannot extend it or scale it horizontally, okay. So there will be certain limit for the index leaf blocks. So after it reaches the certain limit, then it need to extend the blocks, something like this. So this may be the 5th level, okay. This is measured in the form of height, right. So if the height of the index is very high, then definitely it will be very difficult when Oracle traverses through each and every root node, branch blocks and leaf blocks, right, because Oracle has to scan multiple blocks, right, and it need to reach the leaf block which is containing the exact exact interval or the exact block which contain the address or the row ID of the data blocks which are stored on the table. Okay, so it will be a range, right? So Oracle will be having some min and max ranges. Okay, with these algorithms, Oracle will track each and every blocks which are having the range of values. Okay, so if 100 indexes are there, then all these 100 indexes having more height. Some of the indexes may not be used. Okay, so the higher the index, the more complex the traversing of the traversing or finding the blocks would be, and also it will be difficult to manage those indexes, right? So in terms of space, in terms of performance, right, the more complex a particular object becomes, right, the more further it will be difficult to manage those objects. Okay, so after the data scale, right, if the data grows after 10 years, and the index will not be in the same level. Okay, index size also will grow, and index the you can say the relationship between the index and the table, the complexity, the clustering factor will also be quite complex, and it will be difficult to manage. Okay, so imagine that out of these 100 indexes, only 10 indexes are used. Okay, the remaining 90 indexes, there are no queries which are executed on the database for a long time, say for example for 1 year on the database, related to these other column indexes, the 90 column indexes. Only 10 indexes are again and again recursively they are used, because only those data are required. Okay, so every databases will be having some useless indexes. So if you go and monitor in any of your databases, right, obviously there will be some useless indexes. Just for safer purpose, they just create it. Okay, in case if there are any complaint from the client, right, so that's the reason they will be creating those indexes. So our goal as a DBA is to monitor all those indexes and just check like how long, when it was last used, right? So how long this index was useless. So you can ask your application users why it has not been used for a longer time, right? So these are enhancements that you can do as a DBA. Okay, it's not only that as a DBA you need to do your regular tasks like normal installation, monitoring, right, patching. These are all fine, but beyond that, if you need to move further in your DBA career, right, so you need to do these kind of enhancements. So these are volunteer tasks that you need to do. Okay, it's not mandatory that you need to go and do everything. Okay, but these are like senior DBAs or architects. They will be having multiple systems, so they will go and check each and every systems. Okay, so their job will be to improve the performance and to enhance certain things. So those things and all you can do by yourself. Okay, it's not a job of only a senior DBA or high level architect. So we have a view called $object usage, okay, in the database. So this view is often not used, okay, because it's, as I already mentioned, this is not a mandatory task like other tasks that you do as a DBA, like monitoring or installing, patching, upgrading, or creating users, exporting, importing. So all these are regular tasks that you do, right? But once in a month you can also do this, you can include this task, okay, and you can showcase these tasks to your management, saying that you can you have done this, these many indexes were useless, so you can discuss with your application owner or application team, okay, and just validate what are all the indexes which are really needed, and explain him the situation, saying that these are occupying a lot of space, and also it is detrimental to the DML performance, right? Obviously indexes are good for select queries for reading purpose, but the same indexes will not be good for DML statements, because when insert, update, delete happen, they have to update the index blocks as well when they are loading the data on the table. Okay, so it is detrimental to the DML performance. So you can explain this, and it will be a win-win situation for you and the application owner. Okay, so I'm just using this VDAR. I'm just creating a test case. Okay, just a sample table and inserting some data, and I'm just monitoring. Okay, so for enabling monitoring, index monitoring, we need to use this command: alter index name monitoring usage. Okay, so usage means it will this feature will monitor if index is used or not in our database. Okay, so but in real-time production system, don't directly go and enable this, okay, because this may also need some additional space requirements, right? The more number of indexes which are there, the more space requirement also may be needed, because this data needs to be stored somewhere. But it's fine here, since this is a test database, only one row is there. Okay, so just do some pre-analysis before you are enabling this. So what kind of impact it may cause, right? So just for temporary purpose, you can just during weekends or non-peak hours, you can just enable it, and you can just see what are all the indexes which were in usage, right? So just for 1 week you can enable it, okay, because this is an internal feature in Oracle itself, and so far it has not caused any impact. But obviously your first preference is to give space and give priority to the application SQL queries and jobs, right? So this itself should not cause any impact by enabling the monitoring. Okay, so here you can see this index when it was when the monitoring was enabled. Okay, so when you disable the monitoring, here you will get some rows. Usage is no. Okay, so monitoring is enabled. Okay, yes. So you can either use it for all the indexes, or you can use it for specific indexes. Okay, so this is not only for dropping purpose, right? There are a lot of reasons for enabling the index monitoring. One is for performance reasons. Okay, why performance reasons? So I'm just creating an index, okay, for a particular column. Say for example, I'm just creating an index for name column, say for example. Okay, so now I need to know whether that index is used or not when the application queries are executed, right? So without any usage, there is no point of creating an index, right? So that is the main reason of monitoring the index, right? So instead of going and manually checking the plans, and it will be quite difficult and complicated, right? So you need to do a lot of work. So instead of that, you can just enable it temporarily. Okay, so once the index is created, enable the monitoring feature for the index, then just check for you can just enable it for 24 hours or 48 hours, and just see if there are any queries executed with this particular, say for example, some table, okay, for what the monitoring has been enabled, right? So for the index for which you enable the monitoring, and then you can just check whether the usage column is yes or not. Okay, so now the query is executed for there are 10 executions for that query. 10 times the query is executed, but the index is not used at all. Okay, so now you need to go and check why the index is not used, whether anything is ignored, whether optimization is ignoring the index or for some reason. So you need to do some analysis. So there may be a lot of reasons for an index to be not used. Okay, so you need to identify. Okay, and again the another reason is for storage. One is for performance reason, another is for storage. So there is one index which is not used for last 5 years. Okay, so you enable the monitoring, and even you have some intuition that application team is always saying that the full table is always scanned, but index is not used. So for the last 5 years no one had taken any action. So you can just enable the monitoring on the index and just see if the index is getting used or not. So if it is not used, then you can just drop it. Okay, you can save space. This is one reason. Okay, so now I'm just going to execute the select query. Okay, then again I'm going to monitor whether the index is used or not. Now if you see, usage column is yes. So this means that the index is used. Okay, otherwise what I need to do, I just need to just say explain plan for, this is one way, select star from table dbms xplan dot display. So this is just an explain plan. So this will give some basic idea of whether the index is getting used or not. But if you see the explain plan, it is showing table access full. Okay, which means it is doing a full table scan. Here it is not using the index, but when you executed real time, right? So you directly executed the query real time. So let me again execute the query. Now I need to check it. So even in real time it is not using. Okay, it is still using filter. It is just using table access full table scan. Okay, but if you see when I executed for the first time, it is saying index usage, index is used, but in the execution plan it is not showing. Okay, so this is where we may get some confusions whether index is actually used or not. Okay, so now let me again execute this. So index is used. Okay, so here the another way of confirming is using the hint. Okay, so you can directly use the hint on the query to use the index. But here I'm just using select star from the whole table where salary is equal to 500. So instead of select star, I can just say select name. Okay, so still index is not used. Okay, so let me just gather the statistics. Okay, so no matter whatever I do, the index is not getting used, but still if you see the usage is yes, which means Oracle somehow internally tracks the index usage for some of the executions. It is not getting used for all the executions. It should not have been used, but still. This is the way I already used the explain plan way and shown you, right? So it should show index range scan, but here for some reason it is not getting used. Okay, again it is using table access full. So explain plan, sometimes it may not show you the exact plan which was used during the execution of the statement. Okay, so now what I will do, now let me just use a different query. Okay, I'm just manually using some upper function to suppress the index usage. Okay, okay, so anyway if the index is used for one time, it will just show used as yes. Okay, if it is not used for a longer time, right, not even one time, so it will just say no. Yeah, so this is the actual output. Yes means index based query is used, no means index is not used. Okay, so we can also create a function with a query to get the index usage using the dual query. Okay, so you can also create some report like this for index monitoring report. Okay, and if you need to disable the index monitoring, you can just use this no monitoring usage. So now there will be no rows. Okay, so currently since I enabled previously I enabled, so monitoring is yes, so now I disabled it, so monitoring is no. Okay, so you can also see the start monitoring when it was started and the monitoring end time. Okay, so this object usage, right, so this view only tracks B-tree indexes. Okay, it will not track all the other indexes. Okay, so there are a lot of different types of indexes itself, so every indexes will not be tracked. So it tracks usage per session. Okay, since last monitoring enabled. Okay, it will not track all the historical details, right? So you can also check in DBA views. Okay, so we don't have any specific monitor view for index. Yeah, so we have another view called index usage info. So this view also can be used. Okay, so index stat related information, index stats collection type. So these are specifically related to certain statistics. Okay, related to the index. So if if you just filter with usage, yeah, DBA index usage. So this is also one of the views. So this statistics is something more granular, okay, also cumulated. So how many times it was accessed, right? So how many executions the index was accessed. So all these details are there. So here you can check the owner of the index. Okay, so in $v object usage, owner column will not be there. Okay, so you need to use this view. Okay, so DBA index usage has no information about this particular index that I specified. Okay, so this is how you can monitor the index usage at a higher level. Okay, so just enable monitoring like this. For disabling monitoring, just give no monitoring usage. That's it. Okay, so hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.